Have you ever climbed a mountain, reached the summit, and instead of looking at the view, you immediately start looking for a taller peak? You stand there with a trophy in your hand, but you feel like a thief. You're waiting for someone to tap you on the shoulder and say, "Hey, you don't belong here." That is the double-edged sword of the high achiever. Imposter syndrome and the ever-shifting goalpost. Today, we are going to talk about why your success feels like a lie and why good enough might be the radical goal that you can set today. Now, I want to welcome you back to Perspectives of Jerry. Today, we are going to talk about a deep dive into the idea of imposter syndrome. And please keep in mind, if you like these deep dives and these experiences resonate with you, or you have some questions or comments, please do hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and of course, leave a comment below. This all helps me keep the channel going and lets me know that what I'm doing and saying is, what people want to hear. All right, well, if you're ready to look at some goalposts and how they move away from you or how you move them, let's dive in. So, we hear the term imposter syndrome thrown around a lot lately. It becomes a bit of a buzzword, and if you watched my last video on buzzwords, you know that there are a lot of them out there, and this one here is just as bad as the others. But for those of you in the thick of it, it's not just a phrase; it's a constant internal trial. And interestingly, back in the 70s, the 1970s, Dr. Pauline Clance found that there isn't some just rare syndrome, it's a pattern found in nearly 70% of people, especially high achievers. Because even at the top, it's there. Recent data shows that over 70% of CEOs admit feeling like frauds. If you feel like a fake, you're actually in very elite company. The problem is that we often develop what researchers call ability avoid goals. We aren't working to succeed, we're working not to get caught. We think if we just do one more thing or we hit one more milestone, that feeling will go away. I got bad news for y'all. It does not. So this leads us directly into the shifting goalpost. So, and honestly, I want to think that my viewers are pretty smart people. You already know what this is, but let me lay it out for you. You set a goal. Maybe it's a fitness milestone, a subscriber count, a professional target, whatever. You hit it. And within 5 minutes of hitting it, the achievement becomes the new 0. You don't celebrate, you just raise the bar. It's like, okay, well, I think I can do better. The psychological reason for this is called the Hedonic Treadmill. It's the idea that humans are biologically wired to return to a baseline of a level of happiness no matter what happens. You get the win, you get the dopamine hit, and then your brain resets. If you don't realize that you're on the treadmill, you'll spend your whole life running and wondering why you haven't arrived anywhere yet. We've been conditioned to think that if we aren't constantly ascending, we're failing. But what happens when the climb becomes more important than the destination? This actually be a good relative. If you go back a few videos, I talked about burnout. Burnout is very much, imposter syndrome leads to burnout all the time. You're never quite good enough. You just got to keep going. And it's the hustle culture that we've been conditioned into, and I hate it. Spent years trying to, it took me years to figure out that this was not the way I should be working. But here we are. So we need to talk about sustainability. In a culture obsessed with more, um, choosing to sustain what you've built is often seen as settling. But modern research actually suggests that self compassion is a better motivator than self criticism. Criticism. We constantly move the goalpost. We're being our own harshest critics, and that's true. We're always our harshest judges. It's like I can do more. I can do better. I can lose 1 more pound. I can get one more report in. To sustain is to be present. It's to look at your work and say, "This is good." Not it's a stepping stone, but it has value right now. It's about setting a victory condition and actually honoring it. It's about realizing that good enough isn't a lack of ambition, it's the only way to make your success last. I think I my per, you know I think I use the phrase don't let don't let perfect get in the way of good enough, or don't let perfect get in the way of done. I think too many people reach so far, so hard, so long that when they finally get there, they're like, I can do more. You don't want to. You should stay where you are. Be happy with what you succeed. Celebrate the little successes. The truth is, if you keep moving that goalpost, you'll never finish the game. Learning to sit with your achievements isn't about stopping. It's about refueling so you can continue the journey on your own terms. Set a realistic goal. Set a spot where you can say, I did this, and then be proud of it. And honestly, if you got critics out there who are saying, well, that's good, but tell them to shut the hell up. Just you are your judge of what's good enough. But you need to be able to say, I got this. Great job. Done deal. I don't think enough of us do that, and I think that's where the problem really lays. So, that being said, I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. Do you find yourself in that hedonic treadmill where your wins never feel like enough? Or have you figured out a way to actually celebrate on the summit? If you've gotten to that summit and popped the cork on that champagne and says, I made it here. So leave a comment below with your reactions. I mean, I do read them all. I do comment back to them all. I respond to everything. If you have more questions, please do put them in the comment section. I will love to hear it. And then, as always, if you enjoyed this perspective, please do remember to like and subscribe to the channel. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of these. And if you want to support my work just a little bit more, there's a link in the description for buymeacoffee.com/perspectives of Jerry. Everything helps me keep this independent. Everything helps keep this, keeps the lights on and keeps me rolling through on these perspectives. And if you have something in a perspective that you'd like me to talk about, I would love to hear that as well. So if you got suggestions, put them below. All right. Until next time, folks, remember to celebrate your wins. Look within inside, see what's good enough, be happy with where you are. Get the next goal if you need to, but don't put it out of reach. I've been Jerry. This has been Perspectives of Jerry. I will see you in the next one. Take care.